All right, guys. So this week, I thought I'd do something a little different because we all have franchises that we love and play a ton of, or have played a ton of in the past. So I was thinking, man, wouldn't it be cool to have one of these franchises do something different? So with that, Drew, what is one of your top franchises, one of your favorite things? What do you want to see it do differently?
Okay, well, I'm going back to actually just to last year. My game of the year last year was The Last of Us Part 2. Now, we've all seen the zombie apocalypse, this, that, and the other, right? But I want to take Ellie and her characters and Joel, probably, spoiler for Last of Us Part 2, bring Joel back. Let's go to that. And have a open world survival take on that game, because The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2 is so story driven. Is really that linear expansion on the game, right? Well, what I want to do is actually blow it up. I want a DayZ-esque experience, that Walking Dead scenario where you're building up your community. You're out there, you have to go out of your own kind of comfort zone and gather up resources to bring back to your base and help your own community grow, survive, and build up relationships and get something that's a little bit different and unique to the world of The Last of Us. Because The Last of Us, like I said, is getting from point A to point B, and it's all, well, Last of Us Part 2 is all about revenge, more or less. This time, let's just blow it open and let everybody have that free roam and kind of just explore, because there's so much of the world to explore. There's places you could go in this game that are just incredible, and the time that I spent there was amazing. So I want to see that just taken maybe a little bit further, right? Still sticking with what we kind of know, but yet making something a little bit different by adding this extra little resource of, you know, you have to survive, so you got to go looking for food, you got to get more ammo. It's all scarce in the game, but this little twist is just enough to excite me, to bring me right back into something a little bit more unique with the title as well.
Well, yeah, I hear you, man. Like, that's one of those games where I think you don't want to change it. Like, you want to change it right up, but because you want to keep that the core part of those games. But I think that perspective of that game would be really cool to kind of dive into, especially if you're not so heavy into the story side of things and you're more into the survival end. And I'm kind of taking an open world game, and I'm not making it smaller, but I'm changing kind of the perspective. I played a ton of World of Warcraft, you know, when I was younger, and it was a game like I played like religiously, man, and it would never stop. But it's a game I haven't played in a long time, and it's one of those things where it's a huge time crunch, those MMORPGs to get into, and you invest a lot of time, sometimes a lot of money, so you stick with these games for a while, but when you kind of fall out of touch, it's hard to get back into them. So I would love to see a World of Warcraft played out more like a Witcher 3 or an Assassin's Creed style, right? Where we kind of, I get to build my characters, same RPG elements, everything that WoW world offers, but maybe give me a little more of a story, depending on the character class that I decide to choose from. You know, if I'm a dwarf hunter, maybe that story differs from, you know, if I'm going to jump in and be, you know, a paladin or something like that. You know what I mean? So it'd be cool to kind of build more on the story side of things, kind of like what you were saying, Drew, but in the opposite take. And kind of just take that perspective from being, you know, a little bit higher, give me that third person view, and just kind of let me play with the one character necessarily. Maybe not as many PvP elements, but I'm just looking for something that we could, you know, switch up that franchise, maybe mature it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying WoW's for everybody. Everybody plays it, but I'm at a stage now where I play games where, you know, if I can jump in, jump out, that's great, but it's a good story that's really going to keep me. So it'd be nice to see that kind of brought into the World of Warcraft world.
Wow, man.
That's cool.
You kind of opened my eyes to some really cool idea. That is really awesome. I love open world RPGs. So to see World of Warcraft, man, if they could do that, I am in. But speaking of open world games, I love the Elderscrolls. And more recently, like about a week ago, I heard someone in the comments on a video talk about Elderscrolls being brought to a real-time strategy. Kind of like Starcraft, man. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's got to be my choice. Because, man, the Elderscrolls already to begin with, if you're just playing the game, there's like 10 races that you can choose from, all with a plethora of different abilities. I think, man, with this, if you had like kind of a Warhammer Dawn of War style based campaign, which I know not everyone's familiar with that, but it's like
nice.
kind of taking over territories and continents. Like if they did something like that with Elder Scrolls Online cutscenes like Blizzard does, wow, man, I think so many people would be absolutely sold on that.
That's right. Bethesda needs to hit us up, and we'll just
go
in the conference room. We'll
I got lots of ideas.
Get it all taken care of for them. Yeah, that's definitely a different discussion this week. We had a blast. This is something unique. Do you have one of those games you want to flip on its head? Let us know at InsideTheGame.ca.